In this video, I show you how to create a gorgeous open cup pour like this one, and then use very easy embellishing techniques anyone can do to morph it into a stunning galaxy like this one. Let's get started. If you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing, then consider subscribing and clicking the bell. Thanks to my amazing friend Donna, I have this fabulous cup. It is the perfect size for this canvas for what I want to achieve with my open cup pour. And here's my black, and I missed the supporting board underneath my plastic and it spilled there. So now I'm scooping it up with my hands and dumping it onto my canvas. That's a whole lot of paint, and it'll be a big mess if I leave it there, and I really don't even want to lose it. So yes, I'm scooping up what I can and then trying to shake some of these drips off of my gloves. So I put my mixture of black down first, and then I'm drizzling in some of my blue. That's my Prussian blue. I know it looks brighter when it's wet. And this is some sort of purple that I actually forgot to show you in my color list. I had it mixed up. I think it's just a violet color by Master's Touch. I want my background to be not just a solid black. I want it to have a little bit of slight variations, and the purple and the blue will dry very dark, but it'll just help it be a little bit more lively of a background. And I'm already starting to drizzle in some of my first colors into my open cup. I want to thank Donna not only for hosting and putting together this amazing collaboration, but she went before me in her premiere, and so I want to thank her for her wonderful introduction of me and my premiere piece. I want to thank you for being here watching it, and I want to also let you know that up next after me is Hema of Hema Art, so make sure you check her out. In fact, make sure you check out all of the artists in this collaboration, and the links to everyone's videos are below. There's 2 playlist links, one for Friday the 3rd and one for Saturday the 4th of this year, 2024, to help make it easier for you to navigate your way around all of the artists' wonderful, wonderful videos. I debated between doing an open cup pour and a Dutch pour for the basis of this painting, knowing that I was going to turn either one into a galaxy, and both could look wonderful. In fact, I plan to experiment more with galaxy pours. I really like them, and I think they're really amazing fun. I decided to go for the open cup pour in this one. I really do like a lot of the cells that tend to come forth from an open cup pour, and it tends to be a somewhat easy pour. It's a good technique for even beginning fluid artists to work with, because the results can be a little easier to attain a desirable result. So I really wanted to go for something that most people could really accomplish in terms of what I present here today in my presentation. I'm using one of the most simple fluid art techniques that there is, and I'm also going to be embellishing with very, very simple techniques that you really don't need any prior art type training to be able to achieve the type of results that I get. collaboration in honor of May the 4th be with you, we are asked to convey what the Force means to us. What does May the Force be with you mean? What is the Force? So I feel like I'm lacking a little bit in the right words. I have an understanding conceptually. I sense it energetically. So trying to find words to fit it, I would say I believe the Force is what some people refer to as the universal energy, chi energy, the energy of all that is, of what creation is made of, what some people might call the God energy. We see ourselves as separate because of the way that a part in our left brain makes us see things. We see definitions between ourselves and other things and between other things. But it's my understanding from studying certain Eastern philosophies that on an energetic level, we're actually all one. And I read a book by a brain scientist who had a stroke that actually took out that left part of the brain that makes us see things as separate and that makes us have a sense of time. And while she was having this experience with this part of her brain completely offline, she was blending into everything. She saw the oneness of everything. She literally was explaining what is talked about in Eastern religious philosophy from this experience that she was having with this part of her brain just not in operation. And so I believe that the Force is what this energy of everything that exists is made up of. And within the spiritual Eastern philosophy side of things, including the Shaolin monks who are warriors, some of these monks are reported to be able to knock an opponent back by just directing the energy and without even ever really touching them, without making contact with a fist or a foot. Supposedly, they can knock an opponent back once they become masterful with directing this energy. I believe that in the Star Wars series, that this is what was talked about with the warriors of either side, of the Jedi side, which is the good side, or of the dark side. And it is my understanding that this energy is neutral and that it doesn't really distinguish good or bad. It just distinguishes and reacts to intention. And the more aligned with the intention that somebody is, the more they can direct this Force more powerfully. I believe it's what's behind the manifestation force, which is talked about in law of attraction type things. And again, going back into some of the philosophies that tend to be more prominently conveyed in Eastern religions, but is also coming forth through quantum physics science studies now, the more aligned someone is with that universal energy, or that quantum energy, which I believe is also what is referred to by the Force. I believe it's the quantum energy, the universal energy. Then the more alignment that we're in with it, the less contradictions we have within what we put our focus on, the less contradictions we have within our mind and emotions, the more easily we can manifest that which we put our focus on. So it's finding that balancing act, not only in terms of manifestation, but if one were using it like they were in the Star Wars series, then it would be within their battle, using the Force within their battle. And so I believe that when someone is saying, may the Force be with you, they're talking about, may that universal energy, may you be aligned with it, may you be in the flow with it, so that everything will go the most efficiently and the most easily for you. And I believe that this is also what is being referred to with certain, in certain religions, they have, certain statements that in my opinion, what I sense is that it kind of means the same thing, but just in different words. May that God energy be with you, or that spirit energy be with you. I believe that it's one and the same, but that from the different thoughts and different ways of learning about it and coming to understand it, there's just different words which people have used over time. So that's my take on it. You can let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments if you want to. Also let me know in the comments what you think about this painting, or any questions that you might have, or anything about our wonderful collaboration, whatever you would like to. And thank you again for being here. love the outcome with where this is at right now. I feel that this is a really great basis, a really great flow, and I can turn this into a galaxy that's going to be beautiful. I love how this turned out. This is perfect for creating a beautiful embellished galaxy, and I'm starting to do that by placing my initial layer of stars by running the nail of my thumb, which is covered by a glove, but still I'm using the nail of my thumb to scrape across the top of the bristles. You want to scrape toward you in order to get the splatters to go away from you. I found that out the hard way one day in my art class in high school, my friends. I kind of thought it was the opposite way and ended up with a blouse full of stars. My mom was not happy. All right. Anyway, I'm going to be creating a transitional area of soft gas-like nebula clouds by dry brushing on a mixture of white and that shimmering steel color. And I'm using a very dry brush. I'm going to show you just a little ahead exactly how I'm mixing these colors together off of my little palette that I created from a no longer needed coffee can lid. I'm very resourceful, my friends. I use all kinds of things that otherwise would just go in the garbage. I use them for a lot of my painting needs before they go in the garbage. And then also by blotting out when necessary with a dry paper towel, or you can also have it slightly damp. In this case it was dry though, to help me really get that cloudy textured like effect. This helps to soften the area between that hard line where my pour ends and the negative space that's going to, you know, be the rest of my outer space, starry sky area. I don't want there to be just a hard line in that way, although it did look good just the way that it was. I mean, you could call that a galaxy pour as well without even adding these embellishments. And I mean, a lot of people would, you know, see it that way. But I want to create something more magical, and that's what we're doing here. And I'm using all very, very simple techniques that anybody could do. You don't need to have art training to be able to do this. And you could even do this with a sponge, little pieces of sponge, if you don't happen to have a brush and you don't want to go and fetch one at the store. You can create exactly this type of effect by doing it with a sponge as well. So here's the two paints. I have the shimmering steel to the left, the white to the right. The color below is an oyster color by Modern Masters, and I did not end up using it. I thought I might, but I didn't. And that's what I'm blending together to get this first layer of these cloud-like effects. Okay, and again, I'm just using them to create a bridge in that transition. And I'm adding a little bit of the clouds on just some of that outer edge of where the paint pour was to give it a more natural type of blend. Then I'm coming back in with some of my metallic aqua color and that purple pizzazz for more clouds, and then I'm darkening with black in that upper area because I felt like it stood out just a little too much and was not the best for my compositional idea. So just remember that you can use some of your darker colors that are in the painting to knock certain areas back, and you can use lighter colors to bring them forward. So I'm showing you this yellow, blue, and a quinacridone magenta up ahead. I've specifically chosen these colors because every single one of them is transparent. And they need to be transparent for what I'm going to do next, or it would just not create the right effect. So in a very, very thin glaze, I'm just very carefully brushing in some of these colors. I'm not necessarily putting them all on top of each other. I'm putting the magenta in some areas, the yellow in some areas, the blue in some areas. And this is to help create more luminosity within that area of the painting, in the space-like painting, and also it adds more depth. What I am doing here, my friends, is I'm just starting to brush on some circles as stars. These are going to become bigger stars, and they're going to have like these glowing sort of effect. Creating these in layers, I want it to really have kind of a soft, almost glowing type of effect. So you don't want really hard edges. You want it to be kind of soft and sort of fuzzy in a way, because that helps make it look like it's glowing more. Also, the layer building that I'm going to show you, I'm going to be adding some of that blue and some of the yellow within different layers of white. That's really going to make these stars look like they're glowing. And here I'm starting to glaze with that phthalo blue. This is a very, very fine layer of glaze. I really want that white to still pop through. That's really important. And then once this dries, I'll be coming in and adding a little bit more white on top of parts of the blue. This helps to give that kind of fuzzy glowing effect. It's really, really beautiful. And you can see I've added some yellow already, and I'll be coming in adding in just a little bit more yellow. It's like I come back and work my colors. I might add a little bit more blue if I covered up a little too much. I might add a little bit more yellow back in if I covered that too much when I came back in with the white, for example. You need to just work in layers, and you need to just keep assessing what your outcome is as you're working, and then you just keep going until you just get like a feeling inside where you're like, yeah, that's it. Like it's done. Like it's wonderful. Look at this, my friends. Let me know what you think. I love it. I think this is absolutely stunning, and I could not be more pleased with this particular nebula. Give a special thanks to Donna of the channel It's Art by Donna for putting this whole thing together. She has done an astounding job. Thank you, Donna, and thank you to all of the artists who have joined together to participate in this collaboration. And thank you for being here viewing, because without you, we wouldn't really have anybody to make videos for. So thank you for being here and for appreciating our art and our content. And may the 4th be with you.